Good morning, friends. This is Dr. Anil Rai, Medical Officer of Health from PCMC, speaking to you on the topic of home composting. Welcome to Roy Videos, the first video in the series, different topics related to health and medicine. So today I am going to speak to you about home composting and the importance of it. First of all, we must understand that in nature there is no waste. If at all there is waste, it is garbage that we create, we generate as human beings. Every household creates garbage, generates garbage. Now, if you go to see, 81% of all garbage or waste that we generate is either compostable or it is recyclable. So, if we do composting and we recycle garbage or waste, lesser waste will end up in the areas where it is presently being sent to, or the waste depots. So we today will speak on composting, basically what is composting, why it should be done, how it is done. So composting basically is reduction of organic waste into humus. Now this is done by decomposed of microorganisms, and this leads to a creation of a healthy soil nutrients. Now there are many types of composting which you come across in today's world, where it is done on a mass scale at waste garbage depots, or it is done at homes or in small societies. So we have types of composting like on-site composting, we have vermicomposting that is done with the help of earthworms, we have aerated composting, that is turned or windrow composting, we again have aerated composting which is static, or it is pile composting, and then we have home composting which is usually done in small vessels, a three-pot method, or in drums. So today we are going to focus on home composting in detail. Now we have to understand what things can be composted. If you are going to start home composting, what are you going to look into? So what are the things that can be composted at home? We generate a lot of waste at home, especially green leafy vegetables, leftovers, fruit cuttings, peelings. Then you have garden waste, small grasses, shoots. So these things can be composted. So when we begin composting, we have to know how to compost it. We should also know what cannot be and what should not be composted at home. For this, basically, what should not be composted is very important. These things should be not put into a compostable bin or a compost vessel, like meat, milk products. Then again we go to see that there are human waste, pet waste. These things, or even there is a treated wooden furniture or bits of furniture that is treated with chemicals. These things shall not be composted. Now, as we go into composting details, we will find that once you have a vessel at home, you prepare a vessel. You have a three-pot method where you have three different pots, or you have a bin, or you have a drum. So whatever waste is generated in the kitchen, especially from fruits, vegetables, grasses, newspaper shreddings, can be put into compost bin or a compost drum or a compost vessel, which now you have at home. So once you begin this system of composting, you have to know two things. For something to compost, it needs microorganisms or bacteria, who are the main reason for composting or decomposing the waste. Now, compostable matter is there, the bacteria or the microorganism is there. Now, what does it need? It requires oxygen, that means it requires air, it requires moisture. Now, moisture should not be too much or not too less. Ideally, moisture will be around 50%, and if the moisture is less, what you can do is you can sprinkle water on it. The moisture is more, you can add some sawdust, or you can add some cocoa peat, or you can add some shredded newspaper into it. Oxygen is necessary because there's a burning process in composting which actually generates heat. This heat goes around to say 150 degree Fahrenheit and above, and this is necessary for the composting to take place. Now, once we have put the material to be composted into the bin, you have to put a layer of compost material over it, little of cocoa peat or sawdust, and then you prepare a next layer of compostable material. So as you go day by day, you will find that your bin or drum will slowly fill up with layers of compostable matter and compost and sawdust. After a few days, you will find that this bin is full. So once the bin is full, you have to shift to the other bin. Say in 15 days, you get a bin full of compostable matter that has been put to compost. You close it, keep it away, and you go to your next bin. The same procedure is repeated again over here, and again you get a bin full of compostable matter along with compost and sawdust or newspaper shavings. So now what happens in this compost bin? As the microorganisms, they are the decomposers, they will decompose the material. But to do this, these microorganisms need two things. They need carbon, they need nitrogen. So carbon and nitrogen, it is normally beneficial if it is a ratio of 30:1. So carbon gives energy to the microorganisms, while the nitrogen gives us the nutrients. So now what contains nutrients? What contains energy? So if you go to see dead leaves, sawdust, newsprint, they contain a lot of carbon. At the same time, green waste, grass cuttings, fruit shreddings, vegetable pieces, they will contain a lot of nitrogen. So you have to know in what proportion you put this into a compost bin so that you get proper good compost at the end of a few weeks. Now compostable matter, cocoa peat, sawdust, composting agent all go into the same bin in layers, and at the end of 15 to 20 days you have a bin full of composted good quality fertilizer. Now how does this help environment? Basically, if you go to see, every household generates garbage. Now it is studied that around 400 grams of waste is generated per person per day. So in a household, if we have 4 persons, on an average, every household has 1600 grams of waste generated every day, of which nearly 60% is always wet waste or waste that can be composted. So now, if 1600 grams is the waste created in a house or generated in a house per day, you have approximately 800 grams of compostable waste or wet waste per household in a day. Now we'll take the example of Pimpri Municipal Corporation, where we have 6.5 lakh households. So if we go to study this, 6.5 lakh households are having or generating waste daily. So if they generate 800 grams of wet waste or compostable waste daily, that amounts to a massive 520 tons of compostable waste daily, which today routinely goes to the kachra depots or the processing bin areas. So what happens is, if hypothetically you take 6.5 lakh households begin composting today, each one of them, so you will have 520 tons of waste lesser going to the kachra depots. So this helps a lot in keeping the environment clean. It will help you in saving fuel costs, transportation, manpower. Also, it inculcates the habit of segregation at source. 520 tons means 15,600 tons a month, or over 1,87,000 tons a year. So this is a massive amount of waste that will be stopped from going into landfills or into processing units or into kachra depots. So what happens when each one of us understands home composting, becomes willing and starts home composting, we will be indirectly and directly helping the corporation to stop the transport of waste, which itself is a very costly affair. So you have a lot of savings. So you have decreased waste going to the landfill, That means lesser methane gases emitted at the landfills. And methane gas, as you all know, is a greenhouse gas which we need to decrease. So, after hearing this small talk on home composting, I believe that each one of you will go through like literature, go through the net, find out different ways of home composting, the way it can be done at home. And I urge each one of you to go ahead. Happy composting. Thank you.